Anybody wants to try? How to please Radharani? What pleases Radharani? Okay, so the way to please Radharani is to glorify Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna is glorified, Radharani becomes pleased. It is said in the Gita Mahatmya, actually, that when we read Bhagavad Gita, you see, Radha Krishna are present. When you read Bhagavad Gita, when you recite Bhagavad Gita, and when you're discussing Bhagavad Gita, Radha Krishna is there. When you're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you see Radha Krishna are dancing on our tongue. So important, right? So it's so important that we don't stop this Bhagavad Gita class right now, and we'll continue with it. Radhastami, Radharani will be very pleased if we glorify Lord Krishna. So let us start with the prayers. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, then with pranams, welcome to this class on chapter number 17, Bhagavad Gita. Today's class is going to be a little short because I have to go to the temple right now. So let's start with the darshan of Lord Jagannath. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Nitai Chaitanya ki jai, Parshuram Bhagavan ki jai, Vaman Dev ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This session is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All right. Okay. Inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, Spiritual Master and GBC, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. Okay. It's very interesting. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Chapter number 17 is called as Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. That means there are three kinds of faith. Actually, we think there are many kinds of faith. Hinduism is a faith, Islam is a faith, Christianity is a faith. We think like that, but no, there is only three kinds of faith. Three kinds of faith. What are the three types of faith? Three divisions of faith: Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Either the faith that we have towards something which cannot be explained, something which is like the creator or divine, is either in the mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion or in the mode of goodness. So when the faith is transcendental, actually the faith is supposed to be towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So our 100% faith should be that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am not this body. This is called transcendental faith. But not everybody is in a transcendental mode of nature. They are either in the three modes of material nature. So based on these three modes, they worship certain people or certain demigods, and they have certain kind of rituals, and they do certain kind of fire sacrifices. They have certain kind of habits. They have certain kind of food habits, and they do certain kind of religious activities. So what are these? How do you classify them based on the modes of material nature is the topic. So I'm going to go a little fast today. Let's begin. Hare Krishna. All right. So starts with an inquiry from Arjuna. Who can read this shloka and translation?
Shall I read?
Yes,
Prabhuji?
please. Yeah, go ahead.
Arjuna Uvaja E Shastra Vidido Mutyasya Yajande Sraddhayanidaha Tesha Nishta Tuka Krishna Sattva Rajastamaha. Translation: Arjuna inquired, "O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?" Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hey, first of all, before we go, did we complete the chapter number 16? Anybody can tell me? Sorry, I lost the track. Chapter 16 completed. Did we complete the demoniac qualities? I'm doubtful. I only got a doubt. Who remembers that? Chapter 16 done? Where did we leave?
Yes.
Did we complete the demoniac qualities as well? Yes, but I remember we completed
Yeah, I think we have completed. Yes, we have completed.
the divine
Yeah.
and demoniac qualities also. Divine
Yeah.
qualities, I think we went through the divine qualities in detail last time, right? That is divine qualities we went through, but we were supposed to go through the demoniac qualities. Am I right? Dambo darpaha abhimanascha. We didn't go through it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is pending, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Ahankaram, Balam, Darpam, all that is
We didn't
left.
go through that. I'm sorry, devotees. I'm sorry. I'll have to switch back to that. Okay, let's finish that. Is that okay if I complete that chapter instead of going to chapter 17? Let's do chapter 17 next week. Let's complete that. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry for switching. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Apologies to all of the devotees. Chapter number 16. Okay. Dambo darpo abhimanascha krodha parushamevacha ajnanam chabijatasya partha sampadam asurim. Those pride, ignorance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, O son of Partha. All right. So why should we discuss this? Why don't we stop it from where we left, right? I think it's very important. I'll tell you why. See, what we did was we spoke about the divine and the demoniac natures, and then we spoke about the qualities. Do you remember these qualities? Abhayam, Sattva, Samsuddhi, Jnana Yoga, Vyavastitihi, Danam, Damascha, Yajnascha, all these qualities, you see. We said that first three qualities are supposed to be for sannyasis, and then some qualities for grihasthas, some qualities for brahmacharis, some qualities for brahmanas, some qualities for kshatriyas, for vaishyas, etc. Now, these are all divine qualities, but what's more important to know, divine or demoniac? Both of them are important, okay? So, but it's very important to understand what are the demoniac qualities as well. Do you agree, Hare Krishna? Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Only then we will be able to introspect and understand like which qualities are demoniac and which qualities are divine, all right? So here the qualities like pride, arrogance, conceit, right? Pride. We see that everywhere, right? So just like how Prabhupada says, even the beggar on the street is very proud. Did you see any proud beggar on the street? Right. Right? So that's what it is. So pride means becoming pride for nothing, unnecessarily becoming very proud of oneself is pride. Okay. Arrogance, right? Darpa. Okay, we see all of this in Duryodhana, of course, like is an embodiment of all these qualities. But you see, in the Kali Yuga, don't you think that we see this very regularly? People demonstrating a lot of pride, and people are very arrogant, and you see, very just a little bit of power, and then people become so arrogant. Is it not? Did you see anybody like that? Yes or no?
Very rare to see Daivi qualities, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's a good
These are
point.
common.
These are common. That's right. That's perfect observation. It's very, very rare to find the IV qualities actually, because Kali Yuga is affected, everybody is affected by this kind of qualities. Conceit, right? Cheating, becoming angry, harshness, very harshly speaking, right? Ignorance. These are the qualities of demoniac nature, all right? Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya surimata mashucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. So why is he saying this right now? The reason he's saying is, he said about all the divine qualities, and he just talked about the demoniac qualities, and he's clarifying that, do not worry, you are not demoniac. You are not demoniac. The Kauravas, they are demoniac. You are not. And what's the benefit of having divine qualities? It's written here. Anybody can say what's the benefit of having divine quality? Why should we?
It is conducive for liberation, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, absolutely right. It liberates us. The demoniac qualities bond us. See, such a wonderful relationship moral science and spirituality. Here is the relationship. So do we need to be moral if you want to be spiritual? Yes, of course. Only if you're moral, you can become spiritual. Only moral people can become spiritual. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Dvaubhuta Swarge Sargav Lokesmin Daiva Asura Evacha Daivo Vishtarasa Proktaha Asuram Parthameshwan. O son of Pruta, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other is called demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me the demoniac. So Krishna is a very wonderful teacher. Yeah. So I just wrote a draft of a book called The Lessons from the Universal Teacher. Right? I forwarded it to Nitya Mataji. She went through the draft, right? So Krishna is a very wonderful teacher, right? He knows how to teach very nicely. So what has he taught us right now? He taught us all of this. The divine qualities. Is it detailed? Is it detailed? Yes or no? Type yes in the chat if it is detailed. Right? So many qualities. See? Very detailed. Now that's what he's saying. See, I have explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now listen to the demoniac qualities. Krishna is going to talk about the demoniac qualities. All right. So here is Hiranyakashipu with his son Prahlad Maharaj, right? Setting the scene for the demoniac qualities. Arrogance. So that's why, see, the dramas, you see the Puranic dramas, they do it very well, right? How many of you watch dramas or like the old movies which show the Puranic movies? How many of you like such movies? How many of you watch such movies? Write me in the chat. Right? So the drama and all, they're very expert, okay? They're very good at showing this demoniac qualities. Am I right? So they act very well, like Karna or like Duryodhana. This mono acting, they do very nicely. Am I right? So like a demoniac person, they laugh. So it's very wonderful to see such kind of dramas. So demoniac people, here they are. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasura nasaucham napichacharo nasatyam teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Right? So what is Shakuni doing here? Playing a match of dice. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened here, okay? The Kauravas, they call the Pandavas. First of all, the Pandavas, they do the Rajasuya Yajna. Rajasuya Yajna is like the best of the best of the best yajnas. It's much better than Ashwamedha Yajna. It's like the topmost. And then they show their opulence and the Kauravas, and there is something called Maya Sabha, okay? Maya Sabha is like a very magnificent palace, which is made up of illusion. So Duryodhana was walking inside, very proud. And then somehow he mistook a glass, water to be glass and glass to be water. And he somehow fell into the water. And all the ladies of that Maya Sabha started laughing. Okay. Ha 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 ha, like that. And then something interesting happened. Duryodhana said, Duryodhana was very angry. He was very upset, okay, that everybody's laughing at him. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj, he said, stop, don't laugh. But Lord Krishna said, laugh. Okay, just laugh at him. Okay, so then everybody laughed at him. Of course, it's one of the instigating trigger points, but don't think that Duryodhana was a very nice guy and he was changed because of this incident, okay? He deserved this. That's why Krishna did it for him, that insult. All right, so anyways, so what he does, Duryodhana, he hatches a plan with his uncle, maternal uncle Shakuni, and calls for a game of dice, right? And then Shakuni is an expert and Yudhishthira Maharaj is not so good at dices, all right? So the thing is, the two reasons why Yudhishthira Maharaj had to accept. One of the reasons is that if a Kshatriya is challenged for a war or for dice, they are supposed to come. It's dharma. See, a Kshatriya cannot say, I will not fight. If somebody says, come and fight, he must fight. A Kshatriya, when he called for dice game, he must come. He cannot say, I don't want to come, I don't want to play. No, he cannot say. It's not allowed. That's two reasons. Another reason is, Yudhishthira Maharaj already heard that there is some prediction that something is bad is going to happen. Some devastating war is going to happen between Pandavas and Kauravas. So when they called for these sports, just like Olympics, India versus Pakistan also, a cricket match where we play, it's for kind of friendship, for improving the ties, not for worsening it, right? So that's why we play sports. So he thought, okay, maybe I'll do something from my side to improve the relationship. But who knew? I mean, he definitely did not know that what's going to come next. So he was cheated, right? So demoniac people are like this. The Kauravas, perfect example. They do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. What did they do? First of all, they cheated the Pandavas and they took their kingdom. Next, they prompted that the Draupadi be put for stake, and then they tried to disrobe Draupadi in front of everybody. Draupadi is none other than their cousin brother's eldest brother, Yudhishthira Maharaj, and all the Pandavas' wife, right? She's supposed to be very respected, but then they did that. So demonic people, they do not know, first of all, what is to be done, what is not to be done. See, the modern civilization is also like that. They don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Okay. So I was recently I went to this places, right? Malaysia and Singapore, and so particularly in Singapore, I saw that people are like completely shameless. Sorry to say that, some of them in the trains, metros. So that's what it is like. Not everybody, but some of them, they don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done, right? So neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them, right? So divine qualities are cleanliness and proper behavior. The Vedic culture is proper, perfect culture, right? Being clean, being nice. Of course, we have to learn cleanliness from them. Absolutely, I agree. Okay. Absolutely, we have to become very much clean in terms of our cities, etc. We keep it very dirty. But if we are keeping our cities very dirty, I will say that's purely demoniac quality. That's it. It's ignorance. We need to get that divine quality to keep our neighborhood clean and cities clean. Then the demoniac person thinks like this. Anybody want to read the translation here, please? Read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just before going that, I had
Sure.
16.6, Prabhuji. That was the picture of Hiranyakashipu, is it? Yeah, this 16.6. This one.
Hiranyakashipu with Prahlad Maharaj.
Acha, that is before this scenario. I was like trying to, this is just before. That is when he was not obeying. Is that when he tried to kill? Is this the picture? Because in Bhagavatam, I think the poster, one of the cantos picture is this Prabhuji in Kannada. So, but I did not find that in English. So I was like trying to.
Did you find it in 7th canto, or which canto did you find this picture?
Yes, I think Prabhuji 7th canto.
7th canto only, na? This Hiranyakashipu, pushing Prahlad Maharaj when he's trying to preach Krishna consciousness to his wife.
Right. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes.
Welcome. Yeah. Read the translation, please.
Translation. Bhagavad Gita 16.13 to 15. The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. You see, this is how a typically demoniac mindset is. Like, I'm very rich, I'm the best, and I'll be becoming more and more rich. He's my enemy, I've killed him, and I'll kill all my enemies. And you see, I'm the enjoyer, I'm perfect, powerful, and happy. I'm the richest man, I'm the best. There's nobody as good as me. I shall give some charity, perform some sacrifices for name's sake, and then I will enjoy. Actually, religion is not this, okay? Religion is not about doing some namesake sacrifices or trying to show that I'm very religious and then being very violent. Okay, religion is completely different. Religion is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is remembering God all the time. All the time remembering God is Krishna consciousness. What Prahlad Maharaj did, right? All the time remembering God. So that's the real religion. This is not, so the so-called religion, the demoniac people are actually very much attracted towards it, right? So, and they're very violent as well, right? So we have seen so many invasions in the past, right? And within our country, so many we have seen invasions, right? And so these people, they are not interested in good governance, in the happiness of the citizens, etc. All they need is power. That's it. They're power hungry, right? And what do you say? They're narcissistic, right? They love themselves so much. Yeah, I will leave it to you. Anybody wants to add something, you can add. Anybody wants to say something, you are understanding what is the mentality of this kind of people, right? Who want to just conquer and then see, if somebody is conquering some kingdom and then giving it good facilities, taking care of it, that's different. Okay. But just with the mindset of expansionist mentality, just conquering and looting everything, right? And creating famines in the country. For example, we had the Bengal famine. Do you know? When was the Bengal famine? I think it's 1940s. Okay. So, literally the British, there was they literally completely destroyed the crops. There was a big ship of rice, which they completely drowned it during the World War. They left people to die. Okay. So this is the demoniac nature, right? So they just want to enjoy, right? So this is a demoniac nature. All right. And then let's continue. Who wants to read this? Hare Krishna. Anybody want to read?
Translation, Prabhuji.
Yeah, translation.
Hare Krishna. Verse 16.19 and 20.
Shall I read or
Let Mataji read. You read the next one, Prabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is very interesting because there's a relationship between the next birth and morality. So a lot of people can ask, like, what is the reward for being moral? What is the reward for being divine and not being demoniac? Because see, demoniac nature can easily take over, isn't it? And it's very easy to be demoniac also, but it requires a lot of effort to be divine, isn't it? It requires a lot of effort to be nice. It requires a lot of effort to be patient and not to be violent, not to be arrogant, not to be very harsh with somebody, not to be very angry with someone, right? It requires a lot of patience. So the reward for that is that we will get at least a human birth or even a transcendental birth or a divine birth. But those who are not caring for the divine qualities and those who continue with the demoniac nature, right? See, for example, we saw in Pakistan, there was one terrorist attack where they had killed children in the school. Did you hear that news anytime? Anyone? Yes? That was in a couple of years ago. So you can
That
imagine.
Malala time, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So you can imagine if somebody can go to an extent of killing children, that too in a school, in the name of religion, you can imagine like what kind of mentality that they have. So Krishna is saying that those people who are envious like this and mischievous, those who are the lowest among the men, what is the punishment? Right? There must be some punishment. The government may punish, may not punish, but Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is not going to leave. What is the punishment? I perpetually cast them into the ocean of material existence, into the various demoniac species of life. Right? So what can be more worst punishment than this? Can you imagine this punishment? I'll tell you what this punishment means. So the worst punishment possible in by this kings is that maybe they can execute somebody, right? Kill them, hang them, or even more worse can be to torture them, right? But that's also it cannot last more than a couple of decades. Do you agree? Any kind of the worst kind of punishment, also the Chinese punishments, etc., also they don't last more than any couple of decades maximum, right? Because out of that extreme pain also the person will die. But just look at this punishment. The punishment to go into all the species of life, starting from all the different kind of animals. Now, how is that punishment? Isn't that powerful? What do you think?
Terrible one.
Terrible punishment, right? 84 lakh species of life, if somebody has to go, and then Krishna is saying, I perpetually cast them into the ocean of material existence, to various demoniac species of life. And after taking this birth among species of demoniac life, such persons can never approach me. And gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. First of all, they'll be born as some kind of hunters or some kind of very terrible demoniac people. There are some cannibals also. So for example, there's an island called North Sentinel Island near Andaman. Did anybody hear about it? So the North Sentinel Island, they are very, very aggressive. Okay. And there's some cannibals also still existing on the earth. So of course, this Northern Sentinel people may be innocent also. They may be just protective about themselves. But anybody who tries to come there, they kill. They may be innocent also. I don't know. But generally, I'm saying there are some people who are cannibals also, right? Who kill other animals and then, sorry, human beings, and they offer to Bhairavi, what do you say, Patal Bhairavi, or some goddess like that. And then Kali, they will offer. Okay. And then they will eat the humans also. Okay. So this is demoniac kind of people. Okay. So they, first of all, they'll be cast into such kind of species, and then they will go into the animal birth. So it's like very worst, very terrible. They go down. So Krishna is like above, up, transcendental. Uttama. Uttama means Udgata Tama iti Uttama. Means above the modes of material nature. Means it's in the above. It's above, the topmost. But now those who are immoral, they'll be sinking below, lower. Therefore, we should be good. We should cultivate divine qualities. Especially, we should be careful about these demoniac qualities: lust, greed, and anger. Let us see this. Yes, Chandra Prabhu, you want to read Shloka and translation?
Yeah, shall I read?
Yeah, Shloka and translation, both. Yes.
21.
Yes, 21.
Privridam narage sedam dvaram nashamatmanah kamah krodastada lobah tasmadetrayam tejad. Translation. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead for the degradation of the soul. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Can you please share me this sloga? It is not there in my book.
Okay, sure. I'll show you. So there are three gates for hell, right? Just like how Vaikuntha has got 7 gates, right? Hell has got 3 gates. And what are the gates of hell? Lust, anger, and greed. L-A-G, lag. Lag. So, lusty, being very lusty, and being very angry, being very greedy leads us to hell. So, every time just remember this very important lag formula. So, whenever there is a rise in a lot of desire, excessive desire, uncontrollable desire, uncontrollable anger, uncontrollable greed, just remember this. Okay, come on, let's not do this. This is gate to hell. See, because anger is so dangerous that an angry person even can kill his own spiritual master also. Right? So that is the danger of anger. Right? Lust also, lust is like the worst enemy, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, right? And greed is exactly what Duryodhana had. And just see what happened, right? Even Dhritarashtra had that greed for the kingdom, which does not belong to him. See what happened, right? Lust, anger, and greed. All right. Now coming to the conclusion of the chapter. Who wants to read this? Okay, let me read this. Yashastra viddhim utsrijya vartate kamakarataha na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Very important. See, the scriptures, whether it is Hindu scriptures or any religious scriptures, the purpose of the religious scripture is to give us do's and don'ts, to regulate us. See, without any kind of regulations, human being will act on the platform of an animal. Am I right? So that is why the religious scriptures are required. So these are like the regulations. Rules and regulations are meant for regulating the human beings, right? So we have numerous scriptures, innumerable scriptures. Okay, I tell you, Dharma Shastras they are called. Am I right? So prominent among them is the Manusmriti. Okay, I know that over the last 100 years, Manusmriti has been vilified and has been tried to be shown in a very, very negative light. But if you actually read Manusmriti, you see that it is a very, very divine literature. It's perfect. There may be some things which may be very, very harsh for this society. Okay. But that does not mean the entire scripture is, demoniac or something like that. There are so many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful injunctions in it. Okay. Which are positive. So all the Shastras, Manusmriti it's not a separate textbook out of Hindu Shastra or anything. Sanatana, it's not a separate textbook, which is like, completely opposing to something. It's the same thing. Manusmriti is the same Dharma Shastra, whatever is there in Ramayana. It's the same Dharma Shastra which is there in Mahabharata. The same Dharma Shastra which is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is there in all the Puranas, which is there in all the Vedic scriptures. It's the same thing. See, protection of the cows, protection of women, protection of elderly people, protection of children, protection of the Brahmanas. This is the common thing it's a common theme in all the Vedic literature. There's nothing different. So these is the scriptural injunctions. Is there? Even Manusmriti says that we must not eat meat. It says that anybody who kills an animal has to suffer in the hell for as many as the hairs are there on the body of the animal. You see? Why nobody talks about this? There's so many wonderful things. It talks so nicely about the truthfulness. So many things are there. All the qualities. So the scriptural injunctions must be followed. So to what extent are possible in this context, that can be decided by Sadhu, Shastra and Guru. We cannot decide. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Shastra will be there. It will have all the rules possible. But the Guru and Sadhu, the spiritual master and Sadhu, who is a devotee, they see the time and circumstance and they tell based out of the Shastras which one are relevant in this society. So we cannot completely discard something and say, no, it's not relevant. So we need to take to a guru like Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada said, what are we supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do, like that. So this Prabhupada has given simple 4 regulative principles. He simplified the whole thing and he said just 4 things, 4 don'ts, right? And 1 do. 1 do is chant 16 rounds every day. 4 don'ts is do not eat meat, do not drink alcohol, do not have illicit relationships, and do not do gambling. 4 regulative principles, right? But if you discard, so it was a like very simplified version, and that's how the acharyas are expert in this. Okay, so if we discard these regulative principles and if we act according to our own whims, we don't achieve the perfection. The thing is, we lose this na siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Siddhim means perfection. Human life is meant for perfection. We won't achieve perfection. Na sukham, we can't be happy also. If we discard the rules of the scriptures, we cannot be happy. For example, the rule of the scripture says that we must be subservient to parents, for example, right? So if there is somebody who is not subservient to parents and is discarding their elderly parents, he cannot be happy. I mean, externally he may be happy now in this material world. Again, in the spiritual, in the next life, he is going to be in hell. Like that, scriptural injunctions are meant for our happiness. They're for our protection. Okay. So, for example, if there is somebody who is, the scriptural injunction says that one must give charity in the mode of goodness. And if somebody is not charitable at all, then there is after death, there is a river called Vaitarani. It's a very terrible river. So somebody who doesn't give donations is sent into that Vaitarani river and he has to suffer there. There'll be so many crocodiles, etc. And I've heard, etc. So these scriptures are trying to help us. They're not trying to spoil our happiness or something like that. Okay. So whatever is there. So ultimate instruction of the scripture is this. Okay. These are all external things, whatever I've said, like being non-violent, being truthful. All these are external things. What is more important than all of these rules and regulations is that we must be Krishna conscious. So there is a verse which is there in the Shastras which says that Sarve vidhi nishedasyat yetayor iva kinkara. It says we should never forget Vishnu. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu. That means we should always remember Vishnu. We should always remember Krishna. And then Vismartavyam na jatuchit. That means we should never forget Krishna. 2 rules, only 2 rules. Forget about all the hundreds of rules of the Shastras. They will automatically follow. Just follow 2 rules. Rule number 1, always remember Krishna. Rule number 2, never forget Krishna. Then sarve vidhi nishedasyat yetayor iva kinkara. That means all the other scriptural rules, regulations, thousands of rules, all of them will automatically follow if you just follow these 2 rules. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Actually, that is what is being said in this 16.23. Means do not reject Bhagavad Gita. Do not disregard the instructions of Lord Krishna. Do not forget the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam. And always remember Krishna. Then you can be happy. Then you can get perfection. Then you can get supreme destination. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavastitau jnatva shastra vidonaktam karma kartum iharasi. Therefore, one should understand what is a duty and what is not the duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavastitau. So our duty, whatever action that we do, what should be the pramana? What should be the evidence? Shastra pramana. Guru Shastras, Guru Sadhu Shastra should be pramana. whatever activity that we are doing, we should check with Guru. Is this okay if I do it? We should check in the Shastra. Is it okay if I do it? And sadhu, we should ask with a devotee, right? And if this is okay or not. Based on that, rules and regulations, we should act so that we may become elevated. That is how we should do karma. Then we become elevated. So the do's and don'ts, whatever is favorable for Krishna, we must do. Krishna consciousness, we must do. What is not favorable for Krishna consciousness, we must reject. Okay, in the Satyuga, demons and demigods were in different planets. In Treta Yuga, demons and demigods were in different cities. So Satyuga, there was a Devaloka and Asura Loka. But Treta Yuga, they are in different cities, Lanka and Ayodhya. Dwapara, they are in the same family, cousins, Pandavas, Kauravas. But in Kali Yuga, same person. Right? There is a demon within us and a divine within us. Do you agree? There's a bad dog and there's a good dog within us, right? The bad dog is saying do some bad things. The good dog is saying do good things. Am I right? Yes, no? Right?
Fully right.
Yes, absolutely right. So we have to feed the good dog and and we should starve the bad dog. All right. So that's about it. So thank you, devotees. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for reading. Yeah. Suresh Prabhu is asking, generally people visit temples, usually take non-veg on Wednesdays and they are not aware of the rules of meat, but they regularly visit regular Guruji, whether such persons elevate in spiritual consciousness. Okay. That's a nice question. So there's some people in India who are who eat non-vegetarian, but they are regulated in the sense that they have some days where they eat and they have some days which they do not, right? Which they're not supposed to eat. So what is happening? And they go to Tirupati also. So what happens is Krishna is very mercifully can do anything. But generally what happens is when you do spiritual activities and material activities, sinful activities, both at the same time, spiritual progress becomes checked. Okay, it's just like this. You're brooming with a broomstick, you're brooming your house. And then somebody is putting all the kachra. So immediately, right? What happens then? Then there is no effectively cleansing doesn't happen. If you want real cleansing, real elevation to go back to Godhead, we have to first of all stop the sinful activities. So it is, the acharyas are saying compulsory, it is compulsory to stop the first most main sinful activities we must stop. 4 regulative principles. And then when we are chanting continuously, automatically elevation will happen. Otherwise, elevation becomes checked. That's the problem. I mean, I know that in India, there are a lot of people who do both. But what is unfortunate is they won't get the kind of result that is expected. That's the only thing. They won't be able to go back to Godhead. So therefore, we should not disregard the injunctions told by acharyas. All the acharyas are very clear. Prabhupada is saying very clearly that, see, the thing is, even if somebody has committed all the abominable activities, if he is ready to stop it right now and say, Krishna, I'm so sorry, I didn't know all of this. Now I surrender to you. Then he becomes cleansed. That is the mercy of Krishna and the holy name. But if somebody doesn't do that, okay, and still continues to do that, then that's not a good thing. Then they won't be spiritually elevated. They may come back to the human life again, where they'll have to continue. That's it. Another journey. It's an elongation of their journey. That's it. They won't be able to quickly go back to God. Okay, thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna. I'll have to leave now. What is the temple now? So wish you a blissful Radha Ashtami festival. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.